Hi, this is Professor Jacob. This week is the week of February 27th and also the week of your first exam in Access. Your first exam, meaning it's not encased inside of a SimPath. You're going to have a separate exam to do with the important concepts in the Group B area. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to, on this video, talk about how to complete a project. All right, so we're going to click on Group B here. And of course, how we want to complete this area, completion order. SimBooks is where you're going to start, then SimPaths, then projects and exams. All right, so you are able to submit your activities, your graded activities late with a 10% grade reduction for post-tests, for projects, and for exams. All right. So the due date for full credit on all items in this group is Friday, March 3rd. So today is February 27th. Let's see where March 3rd is. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So on Friday, March 3rd, which is in 4 days, you have everything in this area that's due. All right. So we definitely want to get started. You have 5 SimBooks, Security, Privacy, and Ethics, Access 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have the SimPaths, Security, Privacy, and Ethics, Access 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have 2 projects, Challenge Yourself 3.4 and Fix It 4-6. Of course, I've completed it for another demonstration, so it's already gone. All right, and I've actually submitted one here. It didn't have anything in it, but I submitted it. And so it's showing me that I've already submitted something, just haven't completed all attempts for it. So that's why it's still there. So I'm going to click on the projects, and you only have basically two things to do. Now, these 2 things are kind of convoluted or kind of, more than one thing. So just pay close attention. We're going to open the file download wizard, which just by clicking on that link, what it does is it downloads our in-application project file. This is the file that we're actually going to add things to or remove things from. It should have your name on it, and it appears on the status bar. Anything that appears on the status bar, which is immediately above your taskbar down here, is normally in the downloads or downloaded items folder or area in Windows. All right. So there's a couple of different ways to get to that. You could either use the File Explorer here on your taskbar, or you could go into the Ask Anything and then type File Explorer. It should come up at the top of the list. Or you could right click on your Start button, select File Explorer. Okay. Again, everything that you see on your status bar is going to be available in the Downloads area. Downloads area. So I should see something that says Professor.Jacob. So how do I search for that? If I have a lot of things in my Downloads area, I'm just going to type in asterisk, which replaces more than one character, Professor.Jacob. That's my name on SimNet. And it shows me everything that I've downloaded for that. And I'm looking for 3.4, Challenge Yourself. And it gives me the time 2:27, 1:01 p.m. So that's exactly what I want. All right. So to get into that particular file, I could double click here. Or I could have clicked once on the status bar. Also, you can create a folder in the downloads area and just click and drag this file over into it. All right, so it's up to you how you want to organize your computer. It's completely your call. All right. I would say be organized. As I've told you at the beginning, you want to be scheduled. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on downloads and I'm going to select new and folder. And I'm going to type in CIT 105 Access Projects since I already have SP 2017. Okay. So CIT 105 Access Projects. Then I'm going to click and drag this database over to that folder. And I'm going to release. Then I'm going to click on that folder to see what is in that folder, what contents are there. And there is my file for access. All right. So I got it in the place that I want it to appear. So next I want to download the instruction file. It should open automatically. If it doesn't, it's going to appear on your status bar as well. Okay. Your instruction file is always in the file format PDF or portable document format. And it's going to give you an overview of the things that you're going to, of course, use to complete the project. These are things that you should have already covered in projects or in SimBooks 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you're going to start, of course, by opening the start file. If necessary, enable active content, okay, on the message bar. And then the file will be renamed automatically to include your name. Okay, and then it says change the file name if directed to do so by your instructor. Professor Jacob does not require you to change the file name. So once you open the file, you're to go with that file name that is provided for you. All right. Now, the next step, number 4, is to create a basic report using a table. Remember, our focal point for a database is on the tables because the tables is where all of our data resides. So without a table, you couldn't create a query, you couldn't create a report, you couldn't create a form. So it's very important that you know how to do that. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on our Access database. And once we click on the Access database that we have in our little folder that we just created, we can either right click and select open, or we could just double click to open it. Okay. So what we do from here is once Access actually comes up with it, we're going to do what it said. We're going to click the Enable Contents button on our message bar. Our message bar has a security warning. Now, the reason that this appears, of course, is because Access is one of those unique programs that can contain active content or what are called macros. Okay, and macros, unfortunately, are not necessarily malicious. The original intent was to help you do your job more quickly, but they can contain viruses. But this one is safe. Okay, so we're going to click on Enable Content. All right, so in order to create a query, a form, or a report, we have to first select the table. Then we move to the Create tab where all of our other object creation tools are listed there. Queries, forms, and reports. All right. So you're just going to follow those instructions. And once you finish those instructions, steps 1 through 7, I believe. 7 says close the database and exit Access. Okay. Once you complete 7, you're ready to go. And I'm just going to close Access at this time. And of course, your third step here is to download the resource bundle. And the resource bundle is basically saying, okay, you have some extra files that in order to complete this project, you may need. Okay. And it's not really a might need or a may need. You're actually going to need them. So it's very important that you do download the resource bundle. What I would suggest with the resource bundle, because it is a zipped file, and in early on in the semester, during our first due date, you should have had an item that dealt with extracting files from a compressed or zipped folder. Very easy to deal with. All right, I'm going to click on it, and we see immediately that in that zipped folder is a file called globelogo.png. But there's only one button on here that actually works. So we're going to click on Extract All, and we're going to browse for that folder that we created in the Downloads area, Access Projects. And what it's going to do, we're going to select it, and we're going to say, okay, well, we want all the files that are in the resource bundle, we want them to be downloaded into this new folder, okay? CIT 105 Access Projects. And then click Extract. So there we have globelogo.png, and now it's in CIT 105 Access Projects folder. All right? So that way you know that your files, your project files for CIT 105 Access are in one unique area in the Downloads area on your computer. All right? And then, of course, the best practices document, I would say once you read it once, that's all you need. It's not a document that's going to change every single project. So once you read it the first time, you should be good. All right, skip and close. Then once you finish your file and you've closed the Access database, you're going to click on Upload My File. And then this is the database file that you actually want to, well, no, it's not that one. Here it is, Access Projects. You want to double click on this database in order for SimNet to grade it. Okay, so we're going to double click, and it's saying uploading the file. And once it finishes uploading, I didn't do anything in it, but once it finishes uploading, then it's saying, would you like to submit it for grading? Well, you can say, no, I'm not ready yet, and it'll save your file, okay? And you can submit it later. Or if you're ready to submit it for grading, click Yes, Submit the File, all right? So you never really have to do step 3 because this little dialog box is step 3. So yes, submit the file. And once you do that, it's going to take you to a results screen that is basically going to demonstrate to you exactly what it is that you got wrong versus what you got right. Okay, of course, I didn't do anything in it, so all of it's wrong. So I'm missing everything that is required of me for this project. All right, so it's got 4, 5, and 6 with multiple commands in each. All right, and then over here, this image below is not the file that you submitted. It's just a representation of the solutions, okay? And it's just pointing out where in the solution file your problem resides, all right? So just so you know that. Now, you see here that it says attempt number 2. That's because I've already uploaded it more than once, all right? So that's why you see 2 attempts done on here. All right. Now I'm going to go back to the project, and it says no attempts remaining. That's because you have 2 attempts. Attempt 1 I used earlier, and then of course attempt 2. Right? Both of them 0. Of course, you want to see some progression. So maybe you started off and you got 5 out of 19 the first time. Do it again, start fresh, get rid of all the files that you downloaded before, and just start fresh. All right. And begin reading those instructions, step 1 through 7, and then come back to this area and you have another attempt. Okay. So the hope is that the grade goes up and not down on the project. All right. So hopefully this helps. Also, you will see that once you complete your 2 attempts, that your projects will go away. All right. Now, does that mean that the projects, I can no longer see the projects? Well, basically what that means is you can now find the projects on your grade sheet. All right. Instead of in the group B area. All right. They've been graded and they're gone. All right. So hopefully this makes sense to you. And I would say don't waste a moment after you finish Group B, move on to Group C. Everything in Group C is available. This is dealing with Excel and computers in the workplace. All right. So workplace software and spreadsheets. So move directly to Excel, because what's going to happen is um, very soon, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have spring break. All right. And so you'll have a week basically to get a lot of this busy work from Excel, get it completed. And that way, when you come back from spring break, you won't have to worry about, you know, piling a whole bunch of activity in a matter of a couple of weeks. Okay. So, because the next due date, of course, for our Excel unit or workplace software and spreadsheets is going to be April the 7th. All right. So, very important that you go ahead and get a kind of head start on that. All right. Well, hopefully this helps. And if you have any questions, please be sure to post those questions on the class discussion board on Blackboard.